They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Dead Air, a horror podcast.
Brought to you by Big Baby Studios.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Dead Air, a horror podcast. My name is Chris Costello. I am your resident horror fanatic, and I'm joined by not one, not two, but three co-hosts today. But let's start with the first one.
Oh, all right. So I am one of the co-hosts. My name is Aaron Cristobal, and I am the horror fan. I am joined by film people. I call them film people because they studied film. I did not. I just enjoy the film. I watch the films to enjoy it, not to analyze, not to puzzle over the director's vision and shit like that. I just want to enjoy. But then we have someone here who doesn't always enjoy. He does not.
First of all, fine. This is my tag. I am the quote-unquote scaredy cat. But for this movie, I'm not, because I actually enjoyed this movie when I first saw it. And this is the first movie I rewatched for the pod. It's not scary at all to me.
Well, as I said, we have four hosts today because it's a special episode because we're joined by one of our producers.
Ooh.
Woot woot. Say hello.
Hi.
Say hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm Antoinette. I'm also a scaredy cat. I run another podcast, a sister podcast called Grimcast, where I'm a scaredy cat some more. And this is my favorite horror movie ever.
And yes, it is her favorite horror movie ever. That's why she's on this show. She is so excited to talk about this movie. And it's pretty cool that our guest chose it because everyone right now is a big fan of this. But first off, let's get to our guest. Shit, man, I don't know how to introduce you because I can go any way. I can go, he's a writer, he's an illustrator, graphic novelist, he's a cartoonist. What else? What else can I use to describe you, Mr. Elbert Or?
He's a longtime friend there. A longtime friend of mine. Elbert and I
he's a
go
Renaissance
way back.
man.
He is indeed.
Yes.
Yeah, so welcome to the podcast, Mr. Elbert Or.
Thanks, guys.
Yay.
So I always say that the most important credential is that I'm the father of two and husband of one.
Oh, that's sweet.
There you go.
Just one.
Just one.
Got it.
Okay na ako with one. Okay na ako with the one.
Wow.
There you go.
Nice. Damn.
But for the purposes of the podcast, Chris, my credentials is I illustrated a horror graphic novel.
Yes, you did.
Lola, a ghost story.
Pretty awesome. It's you're issuing the reprint, right?
Yeah,
I got the old one way back when it was launched. What was that, like 2012 or something?
2009. So for the 10th anniversary, we reissued it with new pages, new art.
That's incredible. I didn't know that there was new stuff in it. I'm
George Lucas remastered edition ako.
Oh my God! Did you make Lola shoot first? So Albert did this awesome graphic novel. By the way, it's written by Jay Torres. He's based in the US, right?
Yeah, Canada.
He's based in Canada,
North America.
But he's a Philippine roots. And they came up with this awesome story that's set in the Philippines. It was published in 2009. It's really great. You should pick it up. I sent it. I showed you guys the link a few days ago. That's the graphic novel that we're talking about. It's fantastic. So apparently there's a reprint. Pick it up, everyone. It's awesome.
Pick it up.
Cool. So let's get to the show.
Hell yeah.
We start off by asking our guest, what is your horror origin?
I've always liked watching horror, even though I have a love-hate relationship with it. I find that I get more scared because after I watch the movie than while I'm watching it. So I remember, for example, growing up, I like sleeping against the wall. Para isang side lang yung binabantayan ko.
Shit. Yes. Fuck, man. I think I had the same thing.
Yeah. And then I went to watch. I ended up watching Frighteners one time, and I don't know if you remember sa Frighteners yung that ghost that comes out from the mirror or
From the wall.
wall.
Yes.
So now I can't even
Yeah.
sleep against the wall kasi parang di ko alam eh. So it always freaks me out kasi it's always an experience where I'm not as scared watching the movie as I am with what happens afterwards. Yung I can't even get up to pee in the middle of the night kasi I'll slowly walk out muna of the room just in case may something. And then pagpabalik na ako, yung that slow walk starts becoming a sprint. And then the last few steps, tatakbo na ako and then talon sa kama. I mean, that's how it works for me. It sticks with me eh. So even with this movie I chose, which we'll talk about in a bit, I'm sure, but this one didn't scare me as well watching it, but it did stay with me afterwards. Eh.
Nice. What how about but growing up, like what kind of horror movies did you used to watch?
And anything that I could catch on TV. My parents were fairly permissive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not so much that they would look after and watch over the things that we consume.
Yeah.
So I remember growing up, we had all sorts of stuff sa bahay. Like we had a paperback ng Amityville Horror. Yung may mga langaw sa cover and then interspersed in the pages, may langaw rin. I don't even remember who bought that, but we have one of those. We have Betamaxes of The Exorcist.
What's a Betamax?
Yuck, feeling! Feeling!
Chris,
Kadire!
Betamax.
What are you guys talking about?
Kapal ng mukha.
Yuck!
Guys, I started with DVDs. Hello.
DVD, di man lang VCD.
Di man lang laser disc.
Yeah, so they didn't. My dad was because my dad is traditional Chinese. So
Got it.
parang anything to entertain and keep us entertained. He's not gonna read the fine print because he can't naman read English. So parang I can get away with a lot of different things.
Oh shit.
So sa cable meron pa kaming on cable TV we had pa this Japanese channel na parang HBO yung Wow na hindi
Wow.
censored paggabi.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paggabi hindi siya censored. Tapos parang
Hindi siya
nakanood ako ng
censored, yep.
Species. Tapos parang wow, first nudity with Natasha Henstridge. Parang yan pala itsura ng boobs.
So good.
That scared me off women for a while kasi parang yan pala nangyayari pag nakakita ka ng boobs.
Oh, no, to be
That's
an adult. Yeah. To be an
hilarious
adolescent
because-
watching horror, no?
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
What a perfect intro to our movie, because you just talked about one of the biggest horror tropes ever. If you see boobs, you die.
Oh,
Yeah.
This movie that you chose is all about horror tropes. So what movie did you choose for us today, and why did you choose it?
I chose Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yes.
So
I like
happy for-
it because it checks off so many of my boxes.
Yeah.
Like it checks off the Cabin in the Woods. Parang title pala, uy, Cabin in the Woods. Yes, I will watch it. It is funny. It comes from a really good pedigree, right? Joss Whedon,
Yeah.
Drew Goddard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It also has all of these. It's funny. It is scary. It has zombies. It checks off all of my boxes kasi talaga eh.
Yeah.
It has every single fucking
Yes.
horror movie
Yes,
villain.
everything.
It has a merman, di ba?
Yeah.
I never even realized now mermen were supposed to be like monsters
Horror.
until
Yeah.
And I felt that they were so creative with this merman in this movie. Galing.
Yeah.
There's
it is
there's a
fun.
Guillermo del Toro-esque quality to the design ng monsters in this movie,
Yes,
which I
yes.
really like. Eh.
True.
Yes.
Totally agree. Usually, before we kick off the conversation, we have Miguel give us a quick summary of what the movie is about. But now that we have
Yeah.
a new co-host, maybe we'll
Thank
ask
God.
Antoinette.
Yeah. The pressure. Di siya
Put
ready.
her on the spot.
Di siya ready.
Yeah, put her on the spot.
Bawal
Nasa
Wikipedia.
iPad mo, tas di mo
Bawal-
alam.
Bawal Wikipedia,
Nice.
Wikipedia summary.
Wikipedia.
Bawal yun.
Okay.
Speak from the heart.
Yeah.
Speak from the heart. Okay. So Cabin in the Woods starts off as your run-of-the-mill horror trope everybody goes to on a weekend away trip. They go into the cabin, and of course, hijinks ensue. But what's interesting is that everything is sort of not as it seems. You think you're in for a straight up cabin in the woods, literally horror flick killer situation, but things just get weirder and weirder and weirder. And you realize that you're in a world sort of within a world, and there's apparently, can I say spoilers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into spoiler.
Yeah. Inevitably.
Okay, and so they realize that there's this big sort of conglomerate company organization that is supposed to prevent the end of the world from these so-called ancient ones, who, if they don't receive a sacrifice every year, they basically destroy everything. So they have like these little cells all over the world that as backups, as fail-safes. So if one goes down, the other, sort of one has to succeed. So in this instance, they're running the American faction, where they lure these five unsuspecting people into a cabin in the woods, and sort of engineer the situation to make it as if to get to the sacrifice at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Beautiful.
That was fantastic.
Beautiful.
That was fantastic. Well done.
That's better than how I'd ever describe it. So that's.
And to end that, everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The best way to watch this movie is to never read anything about it before you go.
Yeah.
In fact,
Because it is the weirdest fucking experience you will have.
In fact,
because it changes all your expectations.
We should maybe tell people who have not watched it to stop listening to the podcast.
This is true. We're gonna put that as a spoiler.
Yeah, watch it first.
Caption. Yeah.
Watch this wonderful movie and then come back to this episode.
Because you think it's going some way and it goes the exact opposite way. It is just so bizarre. My experience walking in was I had no idea. I just went in because I saw the name Joss Whedon. I was like, oh yeah, I'm in. Walk out and I'm like, what the fuck was that? That was incredible. That was incredidible. And the one thing that everyone probably knows about this movie is it's the origin of that little...
Yes, Chris?
Sorry, I think I cut off a bit.
No.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Right.
I was saying the one thing that everyone knows about this movie without realizing it's from this movie is that gif of the little girl holding up the frog saying the evil is defeated. Because everyone uses that gif.
Yes. And it's such a small moment lang in the film.
Yeah. But that moment was so funny to me. I like how they build up how Japan is the actual 100% effective
rate
no failure rate.
Pero biglang suddenly all these little schoolgirls defeat evil. So funny.
In a circle pa, singing.
Chanting.
They're singing Kumbaya or something. Tawang-tawa.
Parang tanggap nila that Japanese folklore is the fucking scariest shit.
Yes.
They addressed it. You know what I mean?
That's basically what they're saying. Yeah.
But
and to a point where there was they were so bitter about it pa nga at some point. They were like, yeah, what a friend we have in Shinto. They'll be fine.
Yes.
You were saying something,
And
Miguel.
the cast,
Oh yes, please go on. Go ahead, Albert.
the cast is overqualified for something like this. No, you wouldn't have thought.
Super.
Opening scene, Richard Jenkins, Bradley Whitford, talking about nothing.
And
in fact,
let's.
I was gonna bring that up. Like the movie opened up with two guys having a water cooler conversation. Parang sila Whedon and the director, I think. What's his name? Oh my
Drew
God.
Goddard.
Yeah, parang they purposely started that scene down just to confuse you. Like parang when you edit the movie,
It is so confusing.
Jarring talaga.
It's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. Galing,
perfect opening
That
scene. It's
whole
really jarring.
opening, Just biglang cabin in the woods. And then cut to this
like a
90s teen thing. And I'm like, what? This is so...
What is this? What's going on? Parang ganun yun eh. Parang, Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying. I think you were about to say something, Albert.
Yeah. Please.
No, I was just gonna say like where they decide pa to cut. They were talking about it's gonna be a long weekend. They were driving by that little car thing.
Yeah,
Richard Jenkins was
Oh my
pouring the
God.
coffee. And then you cut to the mystery machine, yung parang, si Shaggy, si Velma, si Daphne nandyan. Such a strange composition of characters.
All the horror tropes. Yeah, so this movie, it really basically takes all the horror movie tropes and puts it into one and tries to explain everything. I mean, like it has the essential 5 for a slasher film. They've got the athlete, they've got the dumb blonde, the slutty blonde. You got they say the scholar, but they didn't want to say the black dude. Because there's always a black dude. But he is the scholar here. And then there's the fool, the guy the jokester. And then, of course, your final girl. No. And yeah, so it's just one example, just that composition of the 5 of them. Just one example of how the movie just really plays around with its tropes. What I love about it is like when Joss, I read an interview a long time ago when Joss said that he wrote this as a response to the reboot of Friday the 13th. Where it was just so mean spirited. He felt it was so mean spirited that Jason would just murder all these camp goers for nothing, and then you just take so much pleasure in how they're being murdered, and there's no thought process behind it, and it's so cynical. So he wrote this as a response to Friday the 13th, the reboot, not the original. Not the original. Yeah.
Interesting.
But
did not know that.
What an interesting film! Like, this is
there's so much to unpack.
So much to unpack.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first horror movie that my wife sat the whole way through. I cannot believe it. This incredible moment in our marriage.
Yeah, it's so good.
Elbert, anything in particular? Like, why did this movie jump out for you? Like, how did it become one of your favorites?
The moment that sold me on it was the betting pool that they had. And then I just like stared at what was on the list. As parang, okay, this is a movie that's meant for me. Like, I don't know if you, I don't know about you guys, but like I have kasi in my head a running top 5 list of Cabin in the Woods movies. And then a running list of like top 5 meta horror movies. And I feel like it's right up there with Scream, diba?
Yeah.
Like for my meta horror, there's Scream, which I think everyone would agree with.
Love Scream.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Have you guys seen?
No.
Yes, I love that movie.
So good. It's so good.
Tucker and Dale, Googling.
Yeah, Tucker and Dale
first,
versus Evil.
Polls, Miguel, when we put Tucker and Dale versus Cabin in the Woods because they're similar themes.
Yeah.
Similar themes, yeah.
I will watch this. Okay.
If you haven't seen it yet, I know that the Nightmare on Elm Street series becomes fairly ridiculous towards the end. Pero yung A New Nightmare, I think, is the one where Wes Craven plays himself. And then they brought Heather Langenkamp, the girl from the first movie, to play Heather Langenkamp. So that was also fun. So may mga ganun na masaya eh.
I haven't gone that far in the Friday the 13th series.
You're not gonna miss out if you miss the others. But that one is really nice. Si New Nightmare, that one I really like. Yeah. And then Evil Dead 2.
Cabin, yeah.
And then Evil Dead 2 and Shaun of the Dead. So those are like, for me, they're like the ones that are meta. But yeah, the betting pool.
Cabin movies.
Cabin
you
movies.
You had top 5 cabin movies.
What's on yours, Chris? You've
Friday
seen
the 13th, definitely the first and the second are really good. The first because I wasn't spoiled about the killer. This is a spoiler for everyone. The killer in Friday the 13th is not Jason. It's Jason's mother. That was huge. That was huge for me watching because I watched it a long time ago and I was like expecting it to be Jason in a full mask and everything. I was like, oh fuck, it's his mother. Like that blew me away. So yeah, that's definitely. What else? There's a virus Cabin in the Woods movie.
Cabin Fever.
Cabin Fever. Yeah, that
Cabin
one.
Fever.
The original. Eli Roth. Yeah.
The original one. What else do you have?
Shit.
Is Evil Dead in your list?
Oh, absolutely. That might be the top one. Over Friday the 13th. Evil Dead. Friday the 13th, 1, 2. Cabin Fever is pretty good. And it would have to be this one, Cabin in the Woods. That might be off the top of my head. That might be my top 5. How about yours?
We probably have the exact same list. I'll add lang to that the Evil Dead remake. The one
my God,
with
it's so good.
who's the director nun? Shucks.
He did Don't Breathe, also another incredible movie.
Was that
Don't
him,
Breathe.
Ren? So
Yeah,
he used
it's
the
also
same
the same
the
girl,
same
the same
actress.
Yes.
Right.
yes.
Okay.
That's his muse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
Another one. Another great one.
Alvarez.
Yes. He's a Spanish director at that.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm trying to remember the name of the girl, but I keep thinking she's always extraordinary playlist girl. Si Jane Levy.
Jane Levy. Yeah, that's her. That's
Yeah. Zoe's extraordinary playlist. Na-overwrite na siya, sorry.
No. So like Antoinette said, a lot to unpack here. Where do we start?
Yeah.
We can start with
fact that
the
this is
whiteboard, the
Chris
betting
Hemsworth?
pool.
The betting pool. I like the betting pool a lot.
The
Yeah.
best part of that betting pool was when the girl was like, "Hey, I chose zombies too," and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you chose regular zombies.
No.
These are
Zombie
the
redneck
zombie
family."
redneck murder family."
Oh.
Mahirap
Completely
para parang it's like
different.
saying elephant skills are the same. May ganun parang
Yeah.
hirit pa.
I know.
They have a snowman on the board,
Oh.
and then they have
I didn't see that.
they
my
have
God,
a
that's so
snowman. What were the ones that stuck out sa akin? Unicorn was there, which you got to
Yes.
see later on,
Yes.
right? The
Yeah.
unicorn, and then the merman, and then there's one si angry molesting tree.
That's not cool.
What?
They have on the board, and then if you took a screenshot of that board, which I did when I first got the DVD, there was a guy pa who bet si Wrangle, so whoever that guy is, like napaka specific nung name nung guy na nagbet on the tree, si Wrangle.
I wonder if there are like inside jokes on that whiteboard, no?
Oh no, kakilala pala nila, diba?
Oh.
Because everyone else in the board was like chemistry department, story
Yeah.
department,
Maintenance.
R&D,
Yeah.
and then si Rango.
And the
Rango.
intern.
Yeah,
And then the intern.
The intern who went with the maintenance team, diba? Yung na-disappoint
Yeah.
siya na.
Si ano,
they-
si Ronald the intern.
Yeah.
Ronald.
Isa lang
So
siya.
specific.
So the angry molesting tree, is that like the fucking Harry Potter Whomping Willow?
That's probably an Evil Dead reference, right?
Yeah.
It's an Evil Dead reference. Of course it is. Of course it is.
Oh,
There's so many references, like that guy with a circular saws in his head. That's obviously Hellraiser dude.
Yeah, that's a
That's
very
what-
Clive
Yeah.
Barker thing.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. So Clive
Barker's
Barker's the author, and then Hellraiser is like they're like the beings, diba? What do they call them again?
the Xenobites.
Yun.
Yes.
I'm gonna Google that shit.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
pagkakamukha nga sila.
And there's like fucking there's obviously like the Japanese lady is basically Sadako kind
Yeah.
of. She's even like designed like her.
Yeah.
How about that ballerina kid with the face?
Yeah.
What is
With a
that?
mouth.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
mouths. Yeah.
That was
I don't know.
creepy. Super
There was
creepy.
like a tiny alien like from Aliens. It jumped on someone's face.
Ooh.
Whole bunch of references. So fun
know.
being a horror fan watching this. You were saying, Antoinette?
But maybe leading up to the board and how they got, because basically it's like these guys go into a cabin, right? And
Yeah.
it's like it turns out pala that it's like a choose your own adventure situation.
Mm.
And so they all get in and you see like things are a bit off in the cabin. And of course they're all playing and then they decide to go into the basement, which is also another trope.
That rope, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I dare you.
Eh,
What?
Truth or Dare
Yeah.
actually is
Truth
another
or
trope
dare?
in horror films. Fuck.
And then like in
Yeah.
the basement, there are like so many things that represents each monster or each
Yeah.
what
cursed-
the adventure
cursed
will
objects.
be for the evening.
Yeah.
And then
All these
for
cursed
some
objects.
reason, see Dana opens a book and it's in Latin. And then see the fool, the friend, the super high friend goes, Dana, don't read the Latin. I swear that's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
For me, he is the most relatable. He is me. I am that dude. I am that stoner ass dude.
You know why Aaron says that? because the other day, like she was starting to rewatch this movie, and the first thing she did was message us about how she was going to buy that bomb,
Collapsible
the
bomb.
collapsible bomb. Like she literally Googled it, found that the product actually exists. And so I believe she will have that bong within the next few months.
And then
or so.
talagang it says, this is the bong that was used in Cabin in the Woods 2012. I was like,
Love it.
Shit.
Mismo.
And you already know, Aaron, that it has more than one function.
yes. Perfect. I am that guy. In a horror movie. That's
In a
me.
horror
That's
movie.
me, yeah.
So just to track back, like when they got into the cabin, but when I first saw this movie, I didn't even realize in the first blush na they were deconstructing horror films. And then one of my pet peeves about horror, so why are people making stupid decisions in these movies? Like they should really stay together. Like staying together gives you the biggest chance. And then why do they keep going into their separate directions? And then they call them out in this movie.
Address it later.
They're drugged pala.
They're drugged.
They address everything from
galing.
The hair
from,
dye.
the hair dye, from how horny the girl becomes.
Yeah.
They address everything. It's hilarious.
Even
so good.
even the cranky guy in the gas station.
Yes.
Yes.
What did they call
the
him?
Harbinger?
The Harbinger.
Siya yung nasa speakerphone, di ba?
Yeah.
That's him. Oh my God, that was so funny. I love that scene.
Speakerphone. Parang
I love
ang ganda
that
na
scene.
he was being so serious and
Serious.
proclaiming the mythology. And then, hold on. Am I on speakerphone? Damn it!
That's really
That's such a
rude.
Joss Whedon move. Parang
Yeah.
those, diba? The way
Yeah.
he writes, that came out in like Buffy and Angel. So funny. I'm a fan of that kind of writing. Galing, galing.
What else did they address? No tropes. Like they had the whole sex outdoors and you will be the first one to die.
Yeah.
I love how they set the mood for that. They had like the pheromone mist.
Pheromones.
and then they shined a light on this area where they can
Be
do the
romantic.
deed,
Yeah.
be romantic.
Through the
Yeah.
trees.
The light through the trees. And I love how they made everyone into the role become, into the see Chris Hemsworth character
trope.
became like drunker and drunker,
Yeah.
more of a douchebag, from as compared to like how he was at the beginning of the film, which was he was actually kind of scholarly, So they were engineering everything all the way up to how the characters acted. No?
Yeah.
I guess so. I guess what they're saying is slashers are really America's contribution to the horror genre. Basically, right? If Japanese was like scary, spiritual spirit lady, America is the 5 teenagers who fuck around and get killed.
Did we ever get a glimpse of what the other countries outside Japan?
They did. There was like one monster area.
There was a King Kong. There was like a big
It's just like parang on the screens, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
screens.
Yeah.
I like the way they used that also. There was a lot of stuff in the background that you could have just easily skimmed over. But then when you look at it, it's so like, oh, there's more information here.
Yeah,
I
there's
love
so much
that.
detail to the movie. It's really fun. It really stands up to multiple viewings talaga because you can pick up a
Yeah.
lot from every time you see it. And also, I mean, it was Chris Hemsworth's first film. He's really good in this. He's really
so
good in it. Like watching this. It was the first film he made. It's not the first film that came out. I think Thor came out before this one technically, but this was made before Thor. And he's so good in this movie. Like he really stands out for me.
Galing.
He really has a
presence
charisma about him.
and a presence. Yeah.
Didn't
Like,
you
it
root
was
for
like-
him when he climbed on the
I
motorbike?
really rooted for him. Yeah.
Same.
So that was one of the most shocking deaths for me was seeing that happen. Like there's
Yeah.
rousing music. He's like, I'm gonna come back with guns and we're gonna fucking murder everyone.
Coming back limping.
Such a
Limping.
perfectly executed scene.
I don't know why they foreshadowed it earlier on when they were arriving into the cabin, and then there was this eagle, diba? And then they completely forgot about it because there was so much happening.
Yeah.
So when it happened to Chris Hemsworth, parang, o nga no. Parang, o nga no.
Ang galing na parang he goes pa for Dana and then jumps. I also like na they got into the tunnel via because nagkamali yung parang nagkaroon ng short circuit.
Si engineering.
Yeah.
That's something.
So,
wait, so that's a big question I have actually. Engineering towards the end, they insinuated na it was on purpose.
Parang
Why?
ganon.
Oh, I didn't get that. Why was it
So they were supposed to blow the tunnel to prevent them from escaping, right?
And
Yes.
they didn't get it.
and they didn't because
there were some technical problems with the wiring or something.
Mhm.
And I believe that the suggestion was that the fool survived the killing and started
that's
fiddling
the
with the
one.
control panels.
Yeah.
So he was saying when he found Dana and then he brought her under the tunnel. He was saying that he couldn't figure things out, but he was like fiddling with the wiring.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then
okay.
and I think they hint that he's still alive a couple of times. First was who was screwing up with their internal electronics, and also remember when his blood flowed into the statue, into that little bas relief. Parang nagkaroon ng mild tremor. So parang that was sabi nila, that was like the ancient one rejecting that blood because it wasn't the
because
blood.
he was still alive.
Yeah, and it wasn't the blood. It wasn't
his blood.
It wasn't his blood of the fool. Galing.
That
And you
is
know
awesome.
why? He's only one of remember like there's a scene where they all jump into the water. This was before all the horror came about. He didn't and he stayed above ground. Apparently he's more jacked than everybody. He's more jacked than Chris Hemsworth pala.
Really?
Parang, this guy works out. Parang mas jacked siya. He's like the director said, he's like a jacked Jesus. Parang ganyan. So
That's so
So hindi na siya pinatanggalan kasi parang medyo masisira yung image yung fool. Yeah, the fool.
Yeah,
Kung mas macho ka pa. It's like that episode of The Good Place when Chidi took off his shirt. Puta, Chidi works out pala.
Oh, yeah. Where does the muscle come from?
And that actor has always played these like nerdy types, right? Like sa Dollhouse. Wasn't he a scientist there?
Yeah.
Si Fran Kranz.
This film is littered with Joss Whedon extras, regulars on his shows.
Yes.
On
That
Buffy
girl.
and Dollhouse. Yeah, she's from Angel.
Illyria.
She was an angel, definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah. I remember her.
Even the what's his name? The major who was guarding the black dude.
Oh yeah. I've seen him
he's
before
he's also from the Buffyverse. Yeah.
Oh, nga, no.
Alright.
I know
There's a
him
whole
lang as
bunch
the
of-
guy from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, really?
Was he a surgeon?
Yes, he was.
Wow.
Si Dr.
He
Avery.
really is a scholar.
Thanks to Netflix, I'm all caught up on 15 seasons of Grey's Anatomy.
I stopped after season.
Wow.
I stopped early on. Like,
Yeah, same.
When Christina left, like I
Same.
think I'm done.
I couldn't,
Yeah.
and Netflix
Yeah,
couldn't
same.
let me. It just like, goes to the next episode. Next thing I know.
What
Parang,
else
wait,
were you
5 years na
watching?
pala.
What else were you watching na nasingit ng Netflix sa algorithm mo yung Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah.
It might be The Cabin in the Woods, actually.
Kung lumabas
Eh,
tong
like,
actor na to, lalabas
You
tong
like
actor.
this guy, di ba? Oh, eto, nandito siya. Oh, like 15 seasons worth.
I didn't realize that was him. Anyway, when you
wait.
watch this movie, so go, Antoinette.
The guy who plays Marty was also in Donnie Darko
Which one?
as the passenger of Frank in the car.
Was it a
Sorry.
minor role?
Just
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
probably. Sorry, I'm just going through his wiki now.
Albert, when you
Anyway, I
first
have
saw
not
when you
seen
first
that.
saw Cabin in the Woods, was it apparent to you na this thing was subverting one of your favorite or one of your genres, or because it didn't occur to me that it was this. I knew it was Whedon, but I guess when in the cinema coming in, not knowing nothing, I was like, oh my god, this is kind of like a horror film. No, that's a bit smart. But I didn't realize it was subverting a whole genre.
I didn't know. I
Yeah.
went in because in my head, Joss Whedon, my wife likes Joss Whedon, at least some of the work. And I figured, Cabin in the Woods, that's a movie for me. I'll bring her along if she
date night?
decides to sit closer to me after. Okay, di ba?
Wait,
But
nagda-date pa lang kayo, no? Hindi pa kayo mag-asawa nun.
I think we were engaged na yata when this came out.
Ay.
But, diba,
Wala
parang-
na atra.
but she ended up liking the movie, and I don't think she likes a lot of horror movies so much. She's the kind of person kasi na pag nag-horror movie watching kaming dalawa, naiinis ako sa kanya kasi bigla na lang mapapansin kung maliwanag yung sa tabi ko. And then Wikipedia na pala niya yung pelikula
Yung plot.
pinapanood namin.
Ganyan din
So that
din ako.
like she knows what to expect.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? So para alam daw niya what to expect.
I do that all
She's
the
that
time.
kind of watcher eh. So we don't actually watch too many things together na horror. But this one she liked. So,
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with you kasi nagustuhan mo to.
Oh.
But yeah, this is one of those movies that you kind of want everyone to see because it's so funny, it's so
Yeah.
ridiculous. And when I went into the movie house, I really didn't know if it was going to be horror or not or anything
Yeah.
like that. And I left it feeling like, wow, this was such a good movie. I feel like I should have all my friends see it, whether or not they like horror, because it's so funny. The lines were so funny. It was just so well written. And the cameo at the end,
Oh my God, my favorite.
I mean,
I mean,
worth it.
perfect place to honor a horror great is to put Sigourney Weaver at the end.
Yeah.
I actually forgot that
that's
she was
pretty-
going to be in this movie. Galing nga.
Yeah.
And
Very
we
nice,
just
very
saw
nice
Alien pass.
Yeah, we just saw Alien too. Yeah. That was
We should
really
watch.
good,
We should
really
watch Ghostbusters na rin para
Yeah.
diretso na.
Complete it. So let's just complete it.
So, like, if you're a film major or your master's doing your master's on film, and you want a movie to dissect and write a dissertation paper on, parang this is perfect for it, But there's so many layers you wanna tackle also.
But yeah, there's like there's a lot of foreshadowing in it too. Like at the beginning, see what's his name, the fool. What's his name in the film?
Marty.
Marty. Like when they're driving to the cabin, and he's rolling up his joints. He's talking about society, and he's basically saying that you just fuck it, just destroy it, start over. And that's basically what they did at the end. Like I was really surprised at that choice when they're like, fuck it, let's just let the whole world die. It's humanity. Humanity has had its chance. And then she's even like, but it's 4 billion people. And then he's like, fuck it, just let them die. They really let the whole world die. It's a very, very cynical ending. No, very
Nihilistic.
very
Which is my favorite thing.
surprising choice. I was really, really surprised at that choice. Actually,
Yeah.
so
Which
I
one
think
was
that
your
also-
favorite monster?
My favorite monster.
Like
In the
because
movie?
they showed like so many
A
at
host
the end.
Elevator,
where-
no? Grabe.
Ganda ng
Yeah.
scene na yun.
That's so good.
Yeah.
This is in the top
The-
3 elevator fight scenes, along with Blade.
With Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier also. Shit, top 4. Did the Matrix have an elevator like hallway fight scene also? I forget. Pero this is
Probably.
this is
Yeah.
the best. This is one of the best. Yeah.
This
So
is
good.
incredible. My favorite monster, probably the merman because it was just so funny. They really set it up so many times.
Yeah.
Like he really wanted the merman, and he finally got it at the end.
With
But
the spout at the back, no?
Yeah.
ganda nun.
The
Yeah,
blood
just
just
spouting
spurting
blood, yeah.
blood at the back. eh.
that was pretty good. That giant like bat monster was pretty cool. What else? I didn't really like the Hellraiser dude.
Wala siyang ginawa.
Yun nga eh.
Wala. Tumayo lang siya
He
doon.
just held the box. Like, okay.
Yeah. See, the unicorn was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
See, like,
How about
how
you?
the hell?
Yeah. How about you guys? What was your favorite horror monster?
The monster. Anything with kids freaks me out. So any kid, like the child,
see
ballerina,
Dolores.
the zombie.
Yeah.
Dolores Buckner.
Yeah, all the kids freak me out.
Yeah.
Dolores Buckner, whose arm was cut off because her brothers were eating it, and she started talking about
Yeah.
when he kills people, it gives him the husband's bulge,
Yeah.
It's like, what the
Oh yeah.
it is such a bizarre film. Like if listeners are just listening to this and they haven't seen the movie, they'll be like, what the fuck is this movie about? Like we've jumped from Japanese horror to
Zombies,
murder zombies and
mermen.
rednecks and Latin and it's just crazy. It's so crazy. It's such a wonderful original concept in horror that the genre really needs that every once in a while. That little jolt, turning things on its head. So this was really great. Really nice blending of comedy and horror. I felt.
Yeah.
It really had a great mix of both.
But Albert, what was your favorite creature?
I really like the ballerina one.
Yeah.
Same.
Like just the design of it, and I think of everyone else, or everything else that you see on the screen, that might be the one that doesn't necessarily reference any previous film.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Yeah. Like there were twins there, na parang The Shining, there was a clown that you
Right.
could kind of guess where it came from. The ballerina was like so unexpected, and the way they revealed her pa, yung nakatalikod muna siya and then she turns around.
Yeah.
Yun pala, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's
So
my
that was
favorite too,
unexpected.
actually. She's my favorite too, actually, because she's the one that feels like she could have an entire backstory of her own.
Yeah.
Na parang pwede
Yeah.
siyang complete film. Like what happened to her and how does she kill people? Does she just like chomp them with her face?
Kasi at one point, they just
Yeah.
show her dancing around, diba? She's just dancing.
At the end,
While
she's
everyone's
just like,
dying.
yeah.
She's dancing.
When, at the end of that elevator fight, when they're like the hallway when they're escaping and they see zombies approach, and I'm like, oh, so those are the regular zombies.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're not the redneck murder family zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I want to know, like, out of all the teens, because each one sort of represents this whole archetype. Which
Who are you?
one does
Kailangan.
Albert? Not who am I? Which one?
You know,
Albert,
there are
which
5
one do
of
you
us.
like?
I know. Go, Albert.
Which
Who-
one,
Yeah, that's who you were relating to, I guess, was the question? Yeah.
or which one do you like the best out of
Yeah.
all of
So
them?
relating to napaisip ako, would I make out with a wolf? I might.
A moose, you mean? A moose.
A moose.
Moose
Oh,
ba?
that moose.
Wolf,
So, sabi ni Marty, make out with that moose. Tas,
sobrang wasak na.
And he's like,
Yeah.
give me a break. I'm living in a room of reefer.
Yeah.
I really like Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Like, even though hindi siya yung naghubad sa film, I mean, he just has a
Shut up.
strong presence, no?
It really
Yeah.
does. Really does. Yeah, but
In fact, the
Listen,
other guy
I really-
wasn't so much like, like his best friend, the other jock.
Pwede rin.
Ah, okay, sorry, Aaron. Pwede pala,
So
pwede, sorry.
insignificant.
Si Aaron, pwede kay Aaron.
Pwede yan.
kaso Aaron, may ab siya.
Well,
Oh.
it's
Pero
beautiful.
dahil ba sa husband's bulge?
Nakala
Pwede na.
ko was like slang for something. So I googled it. And apparently, Cabin in the Woods talaga yung origin nung, or sa urban, based on
Husband's
Urban
bulge.
Dictionary. Parang Cabin in the Woods talaga nagsimula ng term na yun. Galing
Husband's
din.
boss. I would definitely be the fool. But it wouldn't be reefer, it'd just be alcohol. I would just be drinking and I'd be like, just being an idiot.
True
That's
fool
definitely me.
here. True fool.
True fool.
Yeah, but like imagine, diba? You have such fortitude. You survived a stabbing in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He survived that bear
Claw.
trap.
Bear trap.
Oh, yeah.
Will to live talaga. Will to live.
Or you're just so high, diba? Na wala ka ng pain receptor.
Actually,
Baka nga.
no, they explained that. Diba parang they say nga that the reason why he survived and the reason why he was while the drugs didn't have any effect on him was because what he was smoking up was sort of made him immune. Or they throw in a line about that in the end. Si Aaron.
That's right. I remember.
It's so fresh in my memory because I just saw it.
Yeah.
I think, what was this? Which monster would have given you the slowest death? Yun yata yung would have been the most, I'd be the most afraid of. Parang the zombies yata. Parang the zombies yata. Because they're eating
zombies, yeah.
Parang they're eating your innards and you're still alive. Like that, like the black cop, like the black guard. He had a slow death until he blew himself up. Parang they were eating his innards before. That's fucked up.
Unless the ballerina would kill you at the end of a Swan Lake performance, then, di ba? That's a slow death, di ba?
The anticipation of your death.
Or that face nibbles you per like a sequence of music.
Oh, per movement, di ba?
Per movement.
Death
you don't
by
torture.
plie.
Yeah, you don't torture.
Per movement, may isang kagat.
Yeah.
How
So
does she
everyone
kill him?
in the I just realized everyone in the office, no, they're basically they represent us, the viewers, diba? Like we're so desensitized to death.
What's
like it's nothing. It's like it's nothing. We're just watchers. We're passive watchers. We don't feel the hurt or the pain or anything. We're just like enjoyed or we're entertained by everything, and we anticipate the girl who's gonna take off her clothes.
Yeah.
I think that's what Joss Whedon was talking about in that interview when he's saying that horror movies had taken a turn where it was just something like that. Like you're just so desensitized by everything. There's no reason behind anything. You just love to watch teens being tortured for nothing.
Oh, did he see like Hostel or Saw and he got mad?
The reboot for Friday
The
the
reboot
13th.
nga pala.
Yeah.
He parang feeling niya na-debase yung favorite genre niya, and so he had to elevate it again. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, or elevate it or like just
say something about it.
Say something about it.
Mock it back into shape.
Mock it back into shape. I love that.
Galing.
Yeah.
I love also that during their celebratory party, they were just playing the death of the Virgin.
Right behind her.
It was just there.
Multiple screens.
Yeah.
And that's another commentary on the final girl trope, right? Because sometimes the final girl dies, but they're like, it's okay, it doesn't matter if she lives or dies, it doesn't matter. That's just a bonus. Everyone else has to die though.
Yeah.
That's why they really had to kill off Marty at the end. And if she dies, then that's their bonus. So they didn't even give a shit anymore.
And it has to be in that sequence, right?
It has to be
You
in
can't
that
leave
sequence.
Marty yung last. So that was also surprising towards the end when she makes a decision to actually want to shoot si Marty.
Yeah. They both. That's another surprising thing. They both turned on each other at the end. She was about to kill him, and then he was like, "Okay, then I will let that werewolf eat you."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Really, really surprising.
No, but I really love that because it's like yung will to live nila lahat is so believable. Hindi yung parang they're putting themselves deliberately into danger. Like Chris Hemsworth's character, when they walk into the house after Dana the first girl dies, Jules dies. He actually walks in, board up all the windows, let's stick together, and then they have to do something where
they have to dumb him down. Yeah.
Like, and then he suddenly goes, "No, let's split up."
Yeah.
Because they all start out very rational.
So each of the characters, each of the 5 major characters, parang they're filtered into this trope, but they all actually are that, diba? That's one of the main.
Yeah.
That's the main trope of this movie.
Pushed into the roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even si Dana says, diba, she's not nga a virgin. Ba't ako yung virgin?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
She was the one sleeping with her professor nga. Yeah.
Yes, that's how they started the movie in the first place.
Sleeping.
That she was sleeping with her professor. So
yeah.
So it was very clear from the start that she wasn't a virgin. So yeah, galing.
Was the fool or was he the actual scholar? Parang ganun nga yata din pa yun. Or even
si Chris Hemsworth was
also a scholar.
Yeah, he was also very smart at the beginning.
Parang statistics major or something.
Social and then parang full scholarship yata. Parang yan.
Yeah, because nothing says smart like choosing a math major, diba?
Yeah. Which I feel is kind of not quite.
It wouldn't have landed if they said, di ba like econ major ka, tas scholar ka? Hindi. It has to be like statistics or something. Or med school.
Yeah.
You can't say communication arts. No.
Yeah. Are we all com-arts? We're all com-arts though. Damn.
I think it's just you and me, Miguel.
Is it? Okay.
Film people.
Com majors.
Yes.
Com majors, yeah. Just you and me. Ayun. So Antoinette, what else about this movie is why is this one of your favorite movies? Because you really jumped at the chance. No, well, not the guess, but like you like really exclaimed that immediately when you heard that this was the movie, like, oh shit, this is my favorite movie. So I really want to hear more about your love for Cabin in the Woods.
Same.
Okay, one of the reasons why I really, really love this movie is that it treats the audience intelligently. Like, you know, it's not handing you the whole like plot, or you know, characters aren't making decisions that you're like, why would you go down into the basement? Because when they do that, somebody immediately calls them out, like, don't go down into the basement, guys. Are we really going down into the basement? Are we really gonna split up? Or you know, like somebody's acting really out of character and they're like, but he's a sociology major out of like full scholarship or something. So yeah, that's I think it was one of the first movies that I really appreciated that from. And plus it's also really, really funny.
So funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
So
It
I'm
has the
catching
Joss
up on
Whedon flavor.
I'm catching up on because we have a Telegram group where we talk as a group to discuss stuff. I hear that my producer said that I am of all the tropes, I would be the whore. What the hell, Maui? I'm so
really?
offended. I am so offended. But
Is he wrong though?
He's absolutely 110% wrong. My God.
I don't know. You wouldn't make out with a moose? I don't know, Chris.
You would, dude. You totally
You would.
I totally
You
would.
would.
100%. Yeah.
So
No
pwedeng
question.
nga,
More
pasok.
than any of us.
Yeah,
No
mas good.
question.
Yes,
That's
and
you. That's you. Yes,
Yes, and.
yes, and
That's
Yes,
you.
and. Yes, the moose and the wolf. Both of them at the same time. Yeah.
Actually, galing
So,
ng
Albert,
actress na yun.
Ikaw
sorry, go.
Chris Hemsworth, because you said he's your favorite. Would you say that that's the character that you relate with the most?
probably not. I mean, he runs headfirst into danger. Eh. So every time I listen to the podcast, all of Miguel's reactions are likely my reactions. So no, I mean, unless diba, they give me the pheromone thing rin that makes me like, oh, we should charge into that. I probably won't.
Yeah.
Survival
So, sino
instincts
ka?
demand I run the other way. Wala kasing archetype na coward sa horror movie. Because cowards know not to go to the cabin in the woods in the first place, right,
Yeah.
Miguel?
That's true. Too.
Why
I
would
love
you?
how they address they address that at the end when they're like, I don't think he even has a cousin. A cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would fucking never. Hey, El. I love asking this about to our guests who are parents. No.
Oh no.
No. I mean,
okay.
in terms of like how you got into horror. You know what's out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you will eventually let your kids watch horror. What age do you think is appropriate for you to get them into it? And second question, what would be your gateway film for them?
Well, we've kind of started. So I have two kids. I have a 4-year-old turning 5 in January. I have a 2-year-old turning 3. Yung panganay namin si Oliver, I've kind of started na. So we've already seen. Ang gateway kasi namin for him, he likes kasi dinosaurs eh. So ang gateway ko sa kanya was Jurassic Park. We've seen na all the movies.
Nice.
Now he's into kaiju. He's seen the Godzilla Resurgence.
Oh my
Nice.
god! I have
So all these
I have
monster
memorized every
movies,
single episode of
I'm
Cocomelon.
starting him
Holy
off na.
crap!
My daughter, ako yung na-horrify sa mga pinapanood niya eh. Like parang, what is this? What are you watching?
Why?
What is she watching?
Yung mga Cocomelon tsaka Little Baby Bum na. Like, so they're like these, so for those without kids, so these are like these
Yeah,
CG animated nursery rhyme song and number things, except mukhang pre-visualizations yung quality ng CG nila. So walang texture, like everyone is so shiny skinned and like clumpy haired and like dead-eyed. Yung dead eyes talaga yung nakakapatay sa akin. Yung, oh my gosh, why are you watching this? Ako yung nababother. No, so I don't know. I've started. So I guess 4 years old yung sagot ko dyan by default. Just because I've started him off on that na.
Very nice. My answer is always probably because I want to go a little harder. So I think it will be a little later in age, but the movie will be scarier. So mine is probably around 10, but Jaws. That's in my dream. That's gonna be the first movie I show my son na horror.
Kala ko heavier. So 10, It Follows. Ganun ko. Kala ko ganun ka.
Yung may incest na.
Wag muna, Chris.
Sa 10, Cannibal Holocaust.
Whoa!
Wow.
Like for me, kasi I've kind of just started him off on, parang, I think in general kasi our rearing strategy is whatever they show an interest in, let's play connect the dots and like show you the rest of the universe starting from there.
I love that.
You know, that's why when he liked dinosaurs, parang, sige, mag-start ka muna with the pink, fong, cute dinosaurs, but then here's Jurassic Park. And then we got to watch The Rise of Skywalker. So he was into Star Wars early on rin, just as I am. And then scary si Emperor Palpatine, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So nagtatanong siya, ba't pangit si Palpatine? So I'm like, well, have you seen zombie movies?
No, let's start.
So let's start.
Here is a redneck zombie murder family.
So I've started him na on yung mga my wife doesn't even know this.
Tell her not to listen to this episode.
I've started him na on yung mga young adult Are You Afraid of the Dark na zombie episodes.
Right.
Goosebumps. Yung parang sige, like slow
Very
ramp,
cool.
pataas ka muna, tas tsaka na tayo bumaba sa roller coaster. But we'll see how far his tolerance is. So far, mataas tolerance niya for gore eh.
Ooh.
I love it.
Damn.
At some point, you're gonna add him to our group, right?
Like yung supernatural yung hindi ko pa na-introduce sa kanya. Kasi for me, yun yung talagang horror.
That's grabe yun.
That's so scary.
Similar to Quark, I guess. Diba? Parang if you
that's
can't
really
touch it,
Quark's,
that's scary. If you can kill it, if it bleeds, you can kill it. Okay na.
Yeah.
Then it's sci-fi or crime.
Is that for you the scariest genre?
Yeah,
That's the
ghosts.
scariest part of horror? Ghosts?
Yeah, ghosts.
Like what? Like what kind of films?
Like the movie Ghost with Demi Moore and a lot.
The Grudge.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
The Grudge.
Terrifying. The little kid.
Yeah, because the other ghost films to a certain extent, pag na-reunite mo with loved one, mawawala siya eh. Si Grudge parang hindi ako aalis.
Yeah. And I've talked about this in the past, how in The Grudge, they just break your safe spaces. Like, you're shampooing in the bathroom and then there's a hand. You're under your blanket. It's under the blanket. Talagang, fuck you guys.
Inaantay ko nga yung moment na jumejeb siya tapos may kumalabit sa puwet. Alam mo yun? Like, so unsafe, di ba? Yung gagawin. So unnerving.
Really do that. Yeah.
Basta at your most vulnerable, nandyan siya.
Yeah.
I know.
That and It Follows. It Follows didn't scare me during the movie. But afterwards, napapa-question ako ng life choices ko eh. Parang, shucks, bawal pala talaga yung mahalay ako. Too late.
Yeah.
So good. How about during this? What have you been doing during this pandemic, dude? As a creative person who is now, I don't know, have you always worked from home?
Yeah, I've always worked from home, but I was telling my wife nga the other day that the difference is that before, when the kids would get too rowdy, I always have the option of going out. Yung parang, bala kayo dyan, alis muna ako. Except now, hindi eh. And every day is like for the kids, parang every day is a weekday, daddy is here. So that's fun. But I've kind of accepted that the pandemic year is going to be one of my least productive years, but
That's okay.
Strangely, no. For creative people, like you'd think that now I can hunker down and write
my script.
Oh my god,
no,
I have not done anything. I've only read one book this entire time. That's insane. Like,
Kaya nakakainis yung mga...
not counting comics, but...
Kaya nakakainis mga Taylor Swift, di ba? Parang, I came out with an album.
Right?
Parang, shit ka, talaga?
How?
Talaga?
Nag-collab pa with Bon Iver and The National. Kailan kayo nag-usap?
Oh, kaya niyo yan?
Yeah.
But I've kind of accepted not to pressure myself to do anything.
Yeah.
And just allow this to be the moment where, sige na nga, kasi habang bata pa kayo, hinahabol-habol nyo, tignan natin pag nag-teenager kayo.
Yeah.
Kung gusto nyo pa rin akong katambay, susulitin ko na to.
That's true.
That's easily the best thing about the pandemic for me is I got to spend so much time with my kid, and we really developed a bond. Because before that, it was really it's just see him an hour before he goes to sleep, and then during the weekends. That's literally it. And now it's every single day. So it's the only good thing about it for me.
I'm sure it's a thrill for young children. I'm sure it's a thrill for them to see their
Welcome
parents.
to the Dead Air Parenting Podcast.
Yes, we all cope in our own ways.
I mean, I don't have kids. But I think about a month or two in, my cat was really just like, "Why are you still here? This used to be my space. Can you leave?"
At this
Diba,
time
ikaw
of the
pa yung
day,
nag-istorbo sa private time niya, diba? Ito yung me time ko eh.
You're crowding me, Mama. Yeah. So we all cope in our own way. We made a horror podcast. What have you been doing?
I've mostly just been focusing on the business. So I have a design studio, Pushpin. So it's mostly taking care and looking after everyone. But outside of that, I've actually come up with. I'm trying to write more comics.
Hell yes.
And in particular,
in the future, in the near future.
In the near future, we'll come out with more comics about our parenting experiences. So we started, my wife and I, we started making these series of comics, Homecomb, about our married life. We kind of stopped for a few years because we had kids. Tas parang, shucks, kids pala, take up your life, no? And then now they're older and can entertain themselves. So, now is the time na... Yeah, yung... Sige, mag-ROI na kami sa mga anak namin pagkakakitaan namin by making comics out of them. I wish I could make them into YouTube celebrities, but it feels so exploitative.
I think it's fine. Like if you're faced with millions of pesos, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's fine to exploit your child.
Yeah,
if it results in millions of pesos.
I mean, you're gonna house them for at least 18 years and feed them.
Except for those parents who crank their kids and traumatize them. I think that's a special place in hell for them.
Shit so much. Yeah.
Oh, hindi ba pwede yan? Sorry. I don't have kids. Just checking.
Ano lang yan, El? Just do an unboxing series for your kids. No.
They should pull their weight around the house.
Exactly.
Daddy needs to mortgage. But I want to make more horror comics rin. Kasi I when we came out with Lola, a lot of the reviews were all about parang, di ba ikaw yung gumagawa ng cute comics, tas ngayon nag-horror ka?
Yeah, no, that was really surprising. That choice. I was really surprised.
Yeah,
because
so
really cute naman talaga yung stuff mo.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so when that was announced, I was really surprised. I
want to do more. I want to do more of that. Yung parang it's just so the dissonance between it looks
the
cute
art style and the actual story.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I hope you do more of it.
Well, madali ang solution dyan. Write one for me, Chris.
Yeah.
So let's wait for the pandemic to end. I might become productive after the
horror
pandemic.
Comic for kids.
Oh my God! What a niche product. It's fantastic.
And then record your kids doing a live reading on YouTube. Then you'll be rich.
Oh, there you go.
Yon.
There you go, El. That's the one.
Anyway. This is why I'm always usually on the other side of this show.
It's been really fun having you on, Antoinette, by the way. It's added a little
flavor. That's sorry.
So I'm really happy that you got on, and it's because of Elbert's choice of movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool that we all really love it.
He'll seem to pop in
Speaking
more
of
often
which,
than Maui. Whoa.
yeah. Speaking of which, do we have any last things to say about the movie itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do a quick wrap up. Who goes first?
Me. I like that they made the stoner guy the survivor. I love that.
That was pretty cool.
I love that choice. It's an amazing choice. You think that he's so tanga-tanga in the beginning when he's smoking in his car. He comes in, it's so smoky. The bong's so big, mukha siyang tanga. But he is the one that survives.
He figured
That's
it
my
out.
favorite. He figured it out.
He's the guy who first says puppeteers.
Yes.
Puppeteers.
Yeah, galing niya. Parang galing na that's the person na Aaron relates to. I mean, for obvious reasons, but for other non-obvious reasons. Parang he's also, like, for a guy who's presented as a fool in the beginning, he comes in with in the car, smoked up with his giant bong. That's pretty cool. Parang he's also the guy who realizes what's going on first. Like, he's the guy who says puppeteers when he realizes they're being manipulated. That's pretty cool. I guess I should talk about what I liked also about this movie. I would like to go away from it.
Yeah, please.
And so that we can end with Elbert, who I'm sure has a pretty cool a version of it. But I just like that. But even before I realized that this movie was about, horror tropes and meta, before I realized it was meta, before I realized that they were deconstructing a whole genre. But I remember leaving the movie, I was feeling like, holy fuck, that's pretty slightly depressing. Like parang, parang you think you're in charge of your life. You're not. One, you're not. Two, parang you're being manipulated till the very end. And two, everything's so pointless. Now we might as well restart and just like let everybody die. Parang those are kind of like heavy themes. Parang for a not serious movie, but I enjoyed it. I like that movie because of that. This horror movie that was supposed to be stereotypical kind of stayed with me all these 10 years has it been, or 9 years since it first came out. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Okay, I'll go next because I want to end on Antoinette and Albert. Okay, so what I love about this, so many things to like about it. Just being a horror fan in general and watching it, and then recognizing all the tropes, laughing at all the in jokes, seeing all the cameos. Knowing it's written by Joss and how he is with dialogue and everything. So many things to like about it. It's fun, it's funny, it's scary. And most importantly, my wife sat through it, and I think it's the beginning of something beautiful in our marriage. So yeah.
So cabin in the woods say, ganda.
Yeah, so that's for me. Let's hear from you, Antoinette.
Well, I mean, in addition to what I said earlier about why I love this movie, and I can rewatch it again and again because there's just so much in it. Like you can never stop finding things that you'd be like, oh wow, that's another Easter egg. Literally, you freeze the frame on the basement, and it's so many Easter eggs.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess my final word is I wish they made more of these movies. Like it's just so good. And like if there were more of these, I'm sure so many people would treat it as like their gateway into horror.
Yeah.
You mean like meta movies, or just how original it is?
Just how original it is, and how you find it so easy to be on the side of the characters because they're not making stupid choices. Or you're on their side, like you want to root for them. So that's all she has to say about that.
Awesome. Elle?
More movies about it. No, my reaction was when I first came out of the film, I guess wala nang sequel to, right? But I could have happily watched like more movies.
Yeah.
Like set in this same universe. Just because there's so much for me to unpack. And I like films like these.
I just realized, just you saying that, wouldn't that be incredible if the sequel was just like set at the exact same time but from Japan?
Yeah, or the different worlds.
And then the next one from another.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy crap. That's incredible. That would have been incredible.
We'll find out how they succeeded.
See from their point of view. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you deconstruct naman Asian horror, di ba?
Yes.
Oh shit. Katakot
So
nun.
good.
Katakot yun.
So let's just
Happy Noon.
franchise it and make that film ourselves.
Yeah.
Love it.
No, but I really like it because I like films that are rich like this where it rewards you for repeat viewings because there's something new that you can latch on to. Like even now I realize like we haven't mentioned pa the guys in the baby mask yung parang
Yeah.
blank face. Diba?
Yeah.
Pagbukas ng
The
elevator, there's two of them na o yung parang the strangers,
Oh,
parang the
could be the
purge
strangers
with the purge mask. I love it.
Could be.
Yeah, but there's so many things for us that I can just go on talking about or just unpacking all of these different things.
Yeah. We could have gone on for a bit. There's so much to say about it. But what a fantastic choice, El.
Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, this was one of the first movies that internally we were like, oh man, I hope someone chooses Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
And then when you
from
chose it, I was like, oh shit, Miguel, someone chose it.
I'm so happy. Yeah.
Thanks for watching it with me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks
I'm
for
glad I
choosing
saw it again. I'm glad I saw it again also. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we're wrapping up. Elle, is there anything else you want to plug or tell us about?
I can, not that we're posting any horror things anytime soon, but we have an Instagram at Elbert Or and at Pushpin Visuals.
All right.
So you can see how cute my my drawings. No, so
It's okay. You
we'll
don't
share
have to
our
be
drawings.
modest. They're actually very cute. Yeah, so that's awesome, dude. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been so much fun.
Thanks so much.
A lot of firsts this episode. We got our producer on.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so thank you again, Elle. Thank you. It was great talking to you. I hope you get to jump on in another episode in the near future.
Yeah.
That would be great. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And stay
Good
tuned
night,
for our next episode, listeners. Bye.
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 Bye. Why do we say bye?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Brought to you by Big Baby Studios.